Hi.
Jinx.
You owe me a Coke.
Can't talk. Haha. Now it's just me talking. I don't want to talk. Travis.
So we decided, what?
So, what are we... Oh, look at that caterpillar.
That's crazy.
Watch till the end of the video to see where we like to boondock. Boondock.
So we are boondocking. What's boondocking?
I guess it's essentially camping, like not in a campground.
It's dry camping.
Whatever that meant at the beginning.
Yeah. Boondocking is something, when we first started full-time traveling, we had no idea even what that word was.
Yeah, we'd been doing it at the desert for years.
Right.
But we never really put it together. We always just considered it was camping at the desert.
Dry camping.
Yeah.
That was what I called it.
Dry,
we would
yeah,
go out
exactly.
to Glamis and Ocotillo Wells and we would dry camp. That means you
Yeah.
camp without hookups. You pull off into the middle of nowhere and you form a circle with your friends and you camp.
Yep.
And that was what we've done for years, never knowing that we were actually boondocking.
Not really.
And not really knowing how to do it successfully for longer periods of time. We could pull off 3 days and we were good.
Children are screaming in the back.
Whatever. So, when we first started full-time traveling, we didn't know that there were other places that you could actually boondock in. We had thought Glamis and Ocotillo was kind of it.
Yeah, that's funny. I never even thought of it.
No, we weren't really aware of it.
Yeah.
So that was when we met Friends on the Road. We learned the ins and outs of boondocking.
Yeah.
And this week we decided to go to the Grand Canyon for the boys' spring break, and we're hitting Joshua Tree and taking our time, and we're boondocking the entire time. We are getting a ton of questions about boondocking, and so we wanted to share our tips and tricks with you that work for us and how we do it.
And I think my favorite part about being prepared for boondocking is the ability to kind of just head out not knowing what you're doing and just figure it out as you go. That's the best part of it.
Well, and that's our personalities.
Yeah.
We're not super planners, but it works for us, and we're going to show you how it works for us. So, to find the spot that we are going to park and camp on, I use 3 apps, and I'm the planner of the 2 of us. We typically get in the truck, and Travis is like, where are we going? So it's important for me to know where we're going, and I look up a couple boondocking options in that area, and when we get there we narrow it down and find the spot that we're going to stay in. So there's 3 apps that I use that I'm going to share with you. So the 3 apps that we use would be Allstays, Park Advisor, and Campendium. And the way that I do this is I will click on the app and I will search the area that we're going to. So next we're going to Joshua Tree. So I'll type in Joshua Tree. And there's Joshua Tree, California. It will come up. And all of the green icons are typically places that are state parks or BLM land, and that means you can park on them for free if they're BLM. The blue icons are going to be RV parks, and then you've got places that have dumps, so that the little poop icon are going to be places you can dump. You can also find casinos and such. So since we're going to North Joshua Tree, I'm going to look up that area. Where did it go? There it is. And find a BLM spot that we can stay in. Now, this area is within Joshua Tree, so these are going to be all these campgrounds that people like to flood to, which are probably going to be crowded. And since we're not booking anything, I want something outside. There's North Joshua Tree, and it's free. So I'll click on that, and people have uploaded images on here. So I can scroll through the images and get a good idea of where that area is and what it's going to look like when we park there. We're literally going to park in the middle of nowhere, and that's what we want to do. So I will look up the directions, open it up in my maps, And there we go. Another great thing about Campendium is people have posted reviews about it. It'll tell you how close you are to Joshua Tree, how much they've paid, which is nothing. So that's awesome. The other app that I like to use is Park Advisor. And Park Advisor will also give me places to camp. This little icon here is going to be BLM land. Overflow BLM for Joshua Tree. I can look it up again. People have posted images and written reviews. So this is the best way to find a place to stay wherever you're going. Park Advisor is also great because it gives you the list of 1,000 trails. So if you're a 1,000 Trails member, it'll show you those in the area. Walmarts, which you can typically camp overnight in Walmarts for free. So if you're just on the road, you can pull in for the night and camp. It'll give you the KOAs and every campground within that area. So the more you zoom in, the more campgrounds will come up.
All right. So we are like by no means pros at this. There are people that are way more advanced with what they do use as far as boondocking, because they'll stay out for weeks and weeks at a time, whereas we typically do, we could do like 7 days and be cool, and then have to kind of fill up. But the main things you need to focus on is power, water, and that's it, right? Power and water is essentially it. So for water, and water is something we learned along the way. So if we can teach you right now. So we went and purchased 5-gallon water containers, and we'll fill these up whenever they're empty. We'll try and find a faucet in town, at a gas station. If we're filling up the trailer, we'll fill these up also. So this is a huge thing, because this will just allow you to stay out a few days longer once your water in your trailer is dried up. So purchasing a few of these, having them full all the time, and adding it to the trailer when needed is super important with boondocking. The other thing is power. The ability to keep your batteries charged so that you're not sitting out here just in darkness. We typically use a generator, and we bought a big enough one that it's able to run the air conditioning. That's really important if you're during summer or when the temperatures get too hot. Having a generator that's big enough to run your AC is super important. So we purchased this one at Harbor Freight. It's a really good deal. Another thing is most people who boondock a lot use solar, and we do have solar panels, and the purpose of those is to keep your batteries charged, so then they're not going dead and you're not able to use your water pump at night or your lights and things like that. So we do have a few just solar panels that if we were going to be out here for a long duration of time, we would set those up and keep our batteries charged all day long so that they last all night. Because the worst thing is having your batteries go dead in the middle of the night and the fire alarm starts chirping, and before you know it, you're out of bed in the middle of the night turning on a generator. So yeah, power and water is what you're looking to be able to boondock for long periods.
Another thing to consider when boondocking is making sure that you find a space of your own. The point of boondocking is to kind of be away from everybody and not park right next to somebody and have some space. We have been in places that are crowded, so you don't really have an option and you're kind of forced to park close together. But when there is open space, when there is 3 miles of road and you can pull off and park and have your own spot, do that. Don't pull into somebody else's space because they want to be on their own. They don't want a neighbor. They want to have their kids running around playing and not have to worry about the person next door. So be really considerate about the spot that you find and make sure that you've given yourself space and given your neighbors space as well.
And also, you don't know if they're like waiting for someone.
Right, they could be there for a few days and have friends coming in, and then if you park right next to them, then they don't have that space for their friends. So where we are right now, we've got a couple RVs probably 100 yards away in one direction. They can't hear us, they can't see us, they don't even know we're here. Another awesome thing about boondocking is when you go with your friends, you don't have to worry about finding camp spots near each other.
Yeah.
You literally can go out in the middle of nowhere, make a big circle with your trailers, kids can play in the middle, fire in the middle, and it's just your spot. You make it your own. It's awesome.
And so the last thing to consider when boondocking is your tanks filling up. It happens all the time, you know, and some trailers can last a little longer than others, but the thing is, don't let it like stop you from boondocking. Plenty of flying J's and pilots offer dump stations. You know, they'll charge you a few bucks, but just as you're on the road, whenever you get the opportunity, you empty your tanks.
And you fill up with water.
Yep, you empty your tanks, fill up with water, and that way you're able to just consistently keep moving. And
we found, like, when we were doing it, we would do, you know, maybe 12, 13, 14 days was our max. And then we would pull into a campground for the night, hook up with electricity, really just kind of like...
take good showers.
Yeah.
You don't shower a whole lot. You go a few days in between showering. And that's just a part of the lifestyle, but it's all worth it in the end, for sure.
Definitely.
So,
is it worth it? You don't care, you just want to eat.
So yeah, I hope that helps with boondocking.
Try boondocking, it's the best. What's your favorite part about boondocking?
Probably all the free space we get. Like I'm able to play baseball, play fetch with Kona. Like there's no trailers everywhere surrounding you. You have open space to play. Yeah, that's probably my favorite part.
The best part about boondocking for Kona is that he is off leash. He is free to run. There's no people yelling at us to get our dog on a leash. He gets to get out all his energy and play with the boys and be a part of the family. Jake, what's your favorite part about boondocking?
My favorite part about it is that there's no old people yelling at me. Like one time, this lady told me to pick up dog poop. And
Trenton, what's your favorite part about camping in the middle of nowhere? What do you and Daddy like to do at night outside?
Listen to wolves and coyotes.
Yeah, you hear all the animals? Do you like to look at the stars? There's so many stars when you boondock, huh?
Yeah, them like side or sit.
5 or 6 stars?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Hey River, what's your favorite part about boondocking?
He just got to see the flowers, got to feel them. That's the one thing, is being, like, the idea of camping is being in nature. And when you're in a campground, you're really not in nature. This is nature. Being able to see the wildflowers and feel them and touch them and admire all the little things that boondocking offers.
Boondocking?
Whatever, bro.
Boondocking.
Boondocking.
Boondocking, like boon for pro.
I like boondocky.
Boondocking.
That's what Dad just said.
Whatever.
It could be boondocking. It's called boondocking. Hey River, grab that tails and pull 'em. You gotta grab up here.
My favorite one is this.
The boys definitely find treasures when we boondock.
Yeah. Trent, what are those?
Bless you. Bless you.
We see rocks.
And if you have been to the Grand Canyon, and if you see all the all the colors on it, like all the layers, these are some of the rocks I found here.
That definitely looks
They kind of look like them. Yeah.
Dad,
That's cool, dude.
That one looks like sandstone. Sandstone.